Greetings, gamers, and welcome to the 222nd live stream from the Misfit Gamer Studios. I'm your host, Vortex, and this is D&D Discussions. On today's episode, we have a new creature encounter, I guess you could say, from Super Foxer. It is a humanoid creature type, not meant to be playable, but meant to be encountered, and it is called Alloy, the Unbound Speedster. So, NPC type-ish creature. I guess we're going to find out. It is named, but we're going to find out exactly what that means. So join us as we discover what Alloy and what Foxer has in store for us. Log back in. There, bam. What up?
Boom, boom. Shalom, my friends. What's happening? Excited to be here.
Good to go. Yeah, so with a name like Alloy, the Unbound Speedster, that gives me, the only thing it gives me is like, I guess, Silver Surfer vibes, you know?
Yes, I like that idea. Like honestly, when I first looked at it, I kind of like the name reminded me of the bow and arrow chick from that one Cyber Dinosaurs game. Um, but when I think of the speedster, I'm just thinking of the Flash. Like unless like yeah, I mean like the Silver Surfer's fast, but like that's not what he's known for. Like Quicksilver, the Flash, like if you have like a sub name of the speedster, like that's my initial thought
I'm
is
expecting high amounts of dexterity, high movement speed,
right.
difficult to hit. It's got to be difficult to hit, but
Absolutely.
I'm really hoping it doesn't hit too hard, but I do hope it hits a lot. Like I would, you know what I mean? Like this is one of those
Yes.
things we've kind of talked about
Yes.
before, where sometimes, especially in 5e, there's not enough detriments for the players. There's like not enough things that you need to take away. Everything's too additive. But we've also talked about sometimes you can add in order to take away. So I wouldn't mind for something like a speedster. I miss the, or not really miss, but I like the idea of doing something along the lines of giving something a massive amount of multi-hit, but stupid damage. Like this thing can hit 6 times in one attack, or 3 times per attack, and it gets 3 attacks, but it's like has multi-attack, right? So it gets like
Right.
5-6 hits, but they're all a d4. They're all just, that's it. It's just like a d4 plus 1 or something like that. So it's like, even if it maxed out, it's really still on par. But I like the idea of having something that just, kind of wails on you, or has a very fast rate of attack. They're just not specifically, impactful attacks, but they are enough to wear you down.
Yes, absolutely. Because anything like that, and even like what's his name? Th- Maybe you could have like once in a while. Because I even remember it was I think it was the Flash or something, but he did this like infinite mass punch where you like get a lot of like momentum behind your punch and are able to do like one really big. I wouldn't mind like maybe an ability, maybe a once a day thing or something like that that would give you some massive like accumulation of all of your energy culminated into one hit. Like that could be a cool element of this. But outside of that, maintaining what I would consider like mid to average damage across a lot of strikes, I think way more fits the feel of what this could be. So I'm
Fair.
excited to see what they ended up doing.
I need to check something real quick. So if I take that away,
Mhm.
oh, it's part of that. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Nothing I can do about that. All right. But yeah, I get you. I'm hopeful though. I'm hopeful that this thing will have some surprises for us.
Absolutely, I'm here for it.
Did you message Foxer?
I did send a message in the Discord just to see if they were around. Nothing back just yet, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see them back here in a second.
Dope. All right.
Let's see.
Also, you'll have to remind me either after stream or at the end of stream. Either we can talk about it while we're still on stream, if we didn't run too late, or just hit me up after we go offline. I want to talk about the community stream this weekend, and I
Okay.
just need to sit down and finalize everything. I know we haven't talked yet, but I've gotten a little bit done. I just need to actually sit down and do it.
Cool.
But I just need to run the ideas by you, make sure that you agree with everything, and then we'll be able to either do that. And if it just doesn't seem like it's going to work out, if not everything's thought through, then we'll just plan a backup idea.
Okay. Sounds perfect, man.
I need to do some cooking anyway. I can do a cooking stream, which would be easy. We can try to do an IRL stream again. We can go find somewhere to go and chill out.
Wild.
Okay. We'll find out.
Cool.
And then of course, 3-year anniversary, another subathon.
Dude, yes, we've got to do that. That's gonna be sick. 3 years.
2 months away. Wild. Not even 2.5 months. Or a month and a half.
We were talking earlier about like, the what was it? It's not the 1%, but like the small percentage of people that even get to what's it called?
Affiliate?
Where you actually have ads. Affiliate.
Yeah. Well, because I think it was when the time that we looked it up, it was only 50% of streamers even go past 2 years.
Right.
And so I don't even know how many past 3 years.
Like the number, like the percentage, like exponentially gets smaller. Like it's gonna keep getting smaller and smaller. Like it was 50%. Well, next time it's gonna be like 10%, and the next time after that it's gonna be like 2%. And it's just gonna get. It's gonna be wild. I'm excited to see where we're headed.
Let's see. I'm looking at Twitch stats.
Which stats? Did you open up? You did open up.
So let's see. So we are. Okay, so we're in the 34th percentile for the age group of streamers. So that makes sense. We're in the second largest, which is, streamers younger than us would be, in the largest group, but only by a couple years. Sure. Let's see. It's like a 1% difference.
That's funny.
I'm trying to see. No, I don't think any of this is going to show it.
I do need that though.
Wow, I got to do more Rust and more Fortnite. Those are like the 2 in the top 10 games. League of Legends is the top game on Twitch.
League of Legends, really?
League of Legends, 60 billion Twitch views. Grand Theft Auto 5, 36 billion. Fortnite is 32. Counter-Strike, CSGO has 38. Dota 2, 24. Minecraft, 16. World of Warcraft, 15. Hearthstone, 15. Rust, 5. And Rainbow Six Siege, 5 billion. So that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. That's wild. That's so wild. I'm not gonna lie, I would have expected Fortnite to be higher up on that list, but maybe it's fallen off.
Yeah, I think once I'm done with this this Schedule 1 video, I think it's gonna really so cool. I spent a couple hours on it again today. I'm maybe 4 minutes into the video.
4 minutes?
I think I have 4 minutes of a 20-minute video, and I've already spent like 2 days on it.
No, isn't that little clip that you sent? That was longer than 4 minutes, wasn't it?
That was a minute and a half.
That was a minute and a half?
And that took me 6 hours. That minute and a half took me 6 hours. I spent more time on it today, and I added like another minute and a half, 2 minutes. It's fucking, this is why I don't edit, man. It's so much. And then trying to keep everything, like trying to keep the big picture, the end picture in my head while like running, like it's just because it's so difficult because like I have so much of the first like hour's worth of footage in this first few minutes. So I'm giving myself a cutoff that at the 10-minute mark, I have to basically stop using the in-game footage to tell like right now I'm using a lot of the footage in-game to tell the story to like build up to it. But if I want a 20-minute video at around the 10-minute mark, I have to start doing like the montage stuff, right? Where I'm doing big leaps, big jumps, and not using as much of the in-game content, but using more narration and stuff. So, yeah.
Is it mostly the editing, or is a lot of it like you recording something and like having to make sure that's right before you can get it in there? Or is it just mostly the video?
It's just the video editing. Like there are times where I'll need a voiceover and then I'll sit there and think about it for a few minutes and then do a couple takes and then, you know, fit it in. And I get that done pretty, I'm pretty good at like judging like the time gap. Like the thing is like, I'll be doing the video, I'll edit the piece without the voiceover, but I'll have the voiceover part in my head. So I'll edit the visual first while I have the voice in my head. And then once I have the visual down to what I want, like how long it should be, like how long the section should be, I then tweak the voiceover in my head to fit that long. And then I record it, throw it in there, and then that usually works out.
Okay.
So
that fits. That fits.
But yeah, it's just like I mean, I have hours. I mean, I have like I don't even dozens of hours of gameplay at this point. So it's like if I want to tell a story, I have to look at 2-3 hours to clip 5 seconds because I want to get multiple clips, right? So that's the hard part, is it's going to be a lot of me going through all of my footage just to clip out little pieces that tell the story and then getting rid of a lot of it.
If other streamers that do this have a group of people, because I don't care if you're a professional editor or not, like that's going to take you a lot of time to do.
Well, I've I you know, there's other streamers that I know that on the smaller scale, I mean, a lot of them take a month to do a whole video, and I've only spent 2 days on mine. And again, those 2 days across a week. So if they're actually their jobs, if they're doing this 2-3 times a week and it takes them a month.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you upload so regularly when a video takes you a month to produce?
Well, it depends on the streamer, because most of the people who are doing weekly or like a lot, if it's high production, they have editors. But if it's not, it's again, it's a process. They just know how. Or again, they stream for 5 hours, like what I tried to do originally. They stream for 5 hours and get 3 videos out of that.
So you could be theoretically editing multiple videos while you're editing one stretch of whatever.
Yeah.
Recording.
And then of course all the shorts that you pull from it and everything, because you'll clip out a piece and then you'll put that to the side. And then when you're done, you'll quickly do a short voiceover, upload those. So again, but you also got to remember, these guys don't have a regular job. Like that is their job. They wake up before stream, they're doing that. Then they stream and then they go and then that's all they do.
Eat, sleep and breathe, all of this stuff.
And if you listen to most of them that do it for a living, they all don't sleep. Like they're up, you know, they're up around the same time we are, but then they are up much later than we are editing just to get those videos out.
Right.
And then they're beholden to views. Whereas, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm happy this is a hobby because it would just be a lot. Like, I'm happy that I'm attempting to do this video edit. It's challenging me in a lot of ways, but
yeah,
it is what we need in order to grow. Like the only way that we are going to grow and ever make this thing better is by doing stuff like that. So
yeah, and it's good for, you know, you to discover like what exactly you want that to look like. And if you can, you know, like you said at the beginning, like you want to produce content that you would enjoy watching, right?
Yeah.
And so like you making this video is like a way for you to discover like how you yourself would like to present content that you would enjoy watching and be like, yeah, look back.
And that is so true, because I'm trying not to like be like any particular like I haven't looked at a bunch of Schedule 1 videos just to be like them. I'm literally playing the video in my head of like what would be entertaining to me, like what sounds cool. That's why like I am so proud of that intro, because that intro would hook me. If I was just if I saw,
It's clean.
you know, if there was the right thumbnail and the right YouTube's you know, title, and I clicked on it and that was the intro I got, bro, I'd be like, damn,
Yep.
let's go, let's fucking go. I want to like, it got me.
I'm in it. Yes.
And so yeah, I'm hoping it's good enough. 11 people from the Discord have already, because it's only viewable from the link, so it's had 11 views so far. So people in the Discord have seen it, but nobody has commented in the channel about it. So I've gotten no real feedback.
Oh, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
Wow. That's all right. As long as people have seen it and are hyped for the official video, I'm gonna push myself to try and get it done by the end of the month, but we'll see.
Oh, dude, heck yes.
I don't want to rush myself, but I also don't want to spend forever on it.
Sure. Yeah.
This cat. Hi. Why are you freaking out?
Yeah.
I know mom's gone right now, and she'll be fine. Hi. Look at you, all alert.
Oh. Yeah.
You are so alert right now. Oh, yeah. Well, what happened? Hi, you're fine.
You stand out so well on that black drop.
Fine. You're fine.
Oh, we get the lovely lady in the house today. So sweet.
You're fine.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not home yet. You're so freaked
chilling.
out right now. You're fine. Hi.
Just chilling.
What?
Yeah.
You hear Brian? It's fine.
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
No one's in the house. You don't hear anything.
We're just here to vibe. We're here to vibe out.
Right.
Indeed.
You're fine.
Such a cutie, indeed. See, even Soul knows.
You only hear the computer. You're fine. No one here. Run away.
Yep.
Fucking cat.
Absolutely wild.
Normally she's just chill when Vix is out, and normally just, you know, doesn't make a fuss, but just today.
Not today.
Just freaking the fuck out. Hi. She usually racks out after like the first, you know, like the first few minutes. But no. Freaking out.
Not today.
Not today.
Stop tripping,
all right, well, we waited long enough. Let's get to it then.
I did. Yeah.
All right. Well, getting up to our review for today, we have the Alloy, or not the Alloy, we have Alloy. I guess that's their name. Need to fix the void there. Alloy, the Unbound Speedster. This is a humanoid creature, an encounter, possibly a boss type, and this is from Super Voxer. So we're gonna see, again, as we mentioned before in the beginning of the stream, this is very interesting. I love named NPCs that aren't just, you know, generalized NPC, but when it comes to something like this, both a name and a title, it just comes with a lot of expectations. So I'm really hoping that with a name like Alloy, I'm expecting either, well, you would think armored, but also with, you know, the Unbound Speedster, you're thinking like, okay, this thing has to be fast, high dex, lots of movement, maybe quick to attack, you know, lots of weak attacks. So I don't know where the Alloy part comes in. Is it maybe like a rape? Oh, maybe this is like a rapier fighter, kind of like a, you know, Alloy instead of foil. I'm like, you know, what's where my brain's going with it. So
when I think of Alloy, like spelled this way, I'm also thinking of just like a type of material or type of metal, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe it's almost like kind of like you were talking about Silver Surfer, like it's almost like its skin is its armor or whatever.
Because it is a creature type, but it's also an individual. So that's the other thing that's weird. It's a creature type, but it's an individual. So we'll see. We'll find out what that exactly means.
Yep.
All right, but it is a medium humanoid and it is chaotic neutral. So the armor class is 20 with mithril armor. I think we have seen 20 armor class before on some of the more heftier bosses.
Sure.
Some of the worst we've seen go over 20, but I think 20 is a pretty good, I would say about what, level 10? Like you'd expect to see that around level 10 plus, level 12?
Yes. I say there's like a wide range where 20 is a good AC for an enemy because 20 is high and you want, especially a specific enemy. Like minions, yeah, you definitely can expect lower, but like for something significant, yeah, I think 20 fits for a good mid range.
And we have 285 hit points or a 30d 8 plus 150. Not too beefy, but with that AC, that's going to take some time to take down. And then there it is. Our speed is 120 feet. So this thing is absurdly fast.
That's crazy.
We'll see how well that works out for it, because sometimes just having a lot of speed and movement doesn't necessarily mean anything. So we'll see what kind of abilities tie into that and allow it to be more powerful as it goes. Looking at the stats, from strength to charisma, we have 18, 26, 20, 15, 18, and 16. So we have a dexterity of 26. We did mention that we expected that. Constitution is 20. I do like that, both for, I really like a secondary being Constitution instead of something more more impactful. I think that's great. It's not a throwaway, but it's a great thing for an enemy. Also, I like it thematically. Something that is this fast has to be a little bit more sturdy. So I kind of like the idea of being more hardy in order to handle this. Now, I am seeing, so that's the 20s. Now we have an 18 for strength and wisdom, which means, and then a 16 for charisma, and our dump stat is intelligence. I'm not necessarily upset about that. I think, I mean, the minimum that they're getting is a +2, so this is definitely like a little bit higher on the scale. They're, you know, getting a minimum +2 on all of your stats. But wisdom and strength being an 18 with only charisma and intelligence at a 16 and 15, I'm not sure about the spread. It's a little bit too clean.
I'll say I think with this particular build, I'd like to see what else comes into play here, but I think strength could be a lot lower and still, and not affect how useful or how dangerous or how scary this creature is, right?
Agreed.
And that's kind of what I think about when I think about these things. It's like, okay, how scary does this thing feel? Does this thing feel like it's intimidating enough for its CR or its whatever it is? And so, like, how valuable do I feel like that strength is going to be to this thing's threat level to the PCs? So, so far, I think that is the one that I would probably bring down, because I wouldn't mind, you know, if it is a named NPC, at least having some sort of wisdom or some sort of like intelligence when it comes to how it on the battlefield. So it's not just like a mindless creature, not mindless, but like, you know what I mean, like a creature acting on instinct,
right?
You know, this one's more of like a strategist or something like that. So I wouldn't mind having something in there a little bit for the wisdom. And so that's why I would choose strength to go down over wisdom in this particular scenario.
Gotcha. And I agree with that. I agree with that. No, nothing else about it really is off. It's just, it does seem a little bit too clean. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind, you know, dropping like one or two of them just to kind of shake it up a little bit. But otherwise, it seems pretty in line with a pretty good, challenging encounter. Looking at the other abilities, we have saving throws of dexterity, constitution, and wisdom. Skills are acrobatics, athletics, perception, and insight, with a +13 and then a +9 with the other three, respectively. Not bad.
Okay, there's a little bit of strength involved in athletics, but again, I don't know how much they're going to be using that unless it's specifically for like grappling and stuff.
Yeah. And I wouldn't really consider that something for something with speed. So yeah, I would, again, that would make sense to bring the strength down on that and focus more on acrobatics.
Yeah.
Damage resistances. Wow. Okay, so we have thunder, lightning, bludgeoning from non-magical weapons. So I do like that it's only bludgeoning, because all too often you see, you know, all non-magical.
Yeah.
So I do love that it's only bludgeoning. Now, the thunder and lightning is fascinating. I was a little bit concerned because, like, when you start out with something like that, I'm like, ooh, that's kind of strong. But it's only thunder and lightning, which kind of goes along with the bludgeoning. And I guess you're too fast to be hurt. Like, I don't know. That's fascinating. I kind of...
I feel like you're giving me Flash vibes.
Yeah.
Again, that's where I'm going. It's like, is your speed based on, like, this, like, electric force of some sort? Like, is it based on... In that mentality, is that where it's coming from? So
Interesting. Well,
I'm curious if we see any more callback to that.
I think we're about to, because with damage immunities, there's poison and then there's force while speed charged. So you are immune to force damage while speed charged. So there might be your speed force connection right there for the Flash.
Okay. Okay.
Senses, we have blind sight and passive perception. Not that I'm upset about those, but this is where I think also it kind of makes sense to have tremor sense.
That's exactly what I would totally replace blind sight with tremor sense.
Yeah.
Because like unless you're trying to take vibrations in the air, which you could argue, I think tremor sense makes a lot more sense for what we're talking about.
If you want to go old school, if you want to bring back some old school shit, go old school psionics and replace both of these with hear light and see sound.
Oh, yeah. Those are classic.
Those would be fucking phenomenal for something like this. I'm just saying. Like, again, kind of like with tremor sense, it just makes sense that everything comes to you at that speed, but you process it way better. So.
Yep.
All right. Languages, only common. No specialty languages, no extra languages. Only speaks common. Fascinating.
You know what? Like, as weird as that sound, like I don't necessarily mind that.
That's kind of crazy.
Like, I'm not a crazy being. I'm just somebody who got powerful, somebody who became what I am, or whatever the case may be.
I am a fan of single languages. It's just very uncommon and rare to see only it being common. It's usually like some ancient language, you know, they only speak Abyssal, you know, or something like that. But cool, I'm here for it. They're claiming that it's a challenge rating of 16. I don't go by challenge rating, so I have no idea. And it has a proficiency bonus of +5.
Okay. I feel like that's... yeah, I feel like that's mostly matched up with the stats that we've seen thus far, so...
I would agree. Makes that, you know, makes it about, again, that 12th level plus kind of encounter.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what this thing can do. Abilities. Supernatural speed. Alloy can take 2 bonus actions and 3 reactions each round. So this is definitely a boss. This is different than layer actions, but or what's the not layer actions, but the legendary actions. But 2 bonus actions and 3 reactions every round. So Alloy can move along vertical surfaces and across liquids without falling in while it keeps moving. I do like that.
Skills.
I really like that.
Skills.
So, oh man, so 2 bonus actions and 3 reactions. Depending upon what they can do with that, that's devastating.
But listen, it goes exactly along with what you were talking about before about them being a speedster. They can just do more in that same time period, so it's not necessarily like high damage, but it's high volume.
I would love some lore. I would have loved a little bit of lore at the beginning of this to truly like understand. Like, is it just living? Is it like living in a like, man, you know what would be cool is if this thing was living in like a different dimension or reality that was sped up, so as it appears to us, but it's living like the world to it, it's slowed. Like to it, the world is just super slow.
Very interesting.
So when you're talking about it has 2 bonus actions and 3 reactions, what if like every round is a round and a half to it? So when you add that up, that's where the extra actions come from. You know what I mean? Like, or you know, it's like to it gets like 3 rounds for every 1 round in real life. So while it looks like it does a lot, it's just taking 3 different turns. Like something like that would be great for the lore, because I feel like that's what this piece is missing to really make it more enticing, because it just right off the bat it sounds really powerful, but I would like to have more of an understanding of why we're getting that, because it's only bonus and reactions, not regular actions.
Yeah, that's true.
However, I wouldn't have minded it if it actually said you get 1 bonus action, 1 extra bonus action, 2 extra bonus, or 1 extra action, 2 extra bonus actions, 3 extra reactions, but that would be too much.
Well, that would be a lot.
But okay, so I do like the vertical surfaces. I do like the liquids. I'm gonna reserve my judgment for the bonus actions, reactions until we see what it does with those.
Sure. Fair enough.
All right, another ability is Flow of Motion. Difficult terrain does not cost Alloy extra movement. Okay, totally fine. So all difficult terrain is fine.
Sure.
When he moves at least 20 feet straight before making a melee attack, it has advantage on the attack roll. Okay.
Wild. Okay. Cool.
I like that. So it's almost like a charge attack.
Okay.
So neither of those are bad. I don't mind either of those.
I like that. Very cool. I like that very much. And it encourages him to use his movement, which I feel like if you're thinking about this realistically as a character, if you're a speedster, you're going to be using your speed all the freaking time.
Oh, absolutely.
All the freaking time. So, like, I'll be interesting if there's something that you can do to, like, ignore attacks of opportunity in case the person isn't actually down yet. But, yeah.
Yeah, to bounce out and then bounce back in. Like, you have enough movement to do that.
Exactly.
All right, and then speed charged mode. Alloy's energy container holds 5 charges. When Alloy expends 1 charge, it enters speed charged mode until the end of its next turn, gaining the following benefits. Okay, so the current turn and the next turn. Now it doesn't say
speed charge we saw earlier.
It doesn't say here what action is required to use it. So we will look at what the energy container is on the other page, and we'll see if that clarifies it. But as of right now, it just says when you expend 1. But it doesn't say if it costs an action.
Like what action economy it takes. Okay.
But for the turn and the next turn, because it's the end of the next turn, so for 2 turns, your speed doubles. You gain an additional action, so you get 2 total actions. So for 2 rounds, you get 2 actions.
Okay.
Unless this round costs you an action, so therefore you get your action back, and then the next round you get 2. Damage dealt by action becomes force damage. Bonus actions attack deal thunder damage. Okay, so your regular attacks deal force damage. Your bonus action attacks deal thunder damage.
Okay,
kind of like what you were talking about, monk abilities, being able to like offhand attack or secondary attack.
Yeah. Got you. Okay, legit.
Difficult terrain has no effect. Oh, just period. Just
Didn't they already get rid of that in flow of motion? Because that's the only thing difficult terrain really does is cost you extra movement. Unless there's specific difficult terrain, like something like there's a couple of spells that have difficult terrain.
Gotcha. Something like Vine Grasper.
Grasping Vines, but also there's like a ice storm, and like all the ground becomes like this icy terrain, and like when you're on it, you have the chance to like slip and fall.
Okay, yeah. So there's that.
Maybe it doesn't cost you extra movement, but
is Cloud of Daggers considered difficult terrain? Or just an AoE? I can't tell if I'm just trying to think of like what other things that this is trying to afflict. Okay, so far we get 2 bonus actions, 3 reactions. So you're definitely relying on, unless they get something else, you're relying on being able to use this like a monk, where you're going to main attack, bonus action attack to get those extra, thunder damagey things. The flow of motion is great. Getting an advantage on attack if you come straight at them, plus being able to, just move everywhere without difficult terrain. And then the energy container speed doubles for 2 rounds, gains an additional attack for 2 rounds, ignores opportunity attacks for 2 rounds, and damage dealt becomes force damage and thunder damage for 2 rounds. It seems a little bit much, but it also doesn't seem like a lot. Like, realistically, it doesn't seem like anything crazy against the players. It just seems like it's kind of cool, but it also is very focused. So I don't know how difficult this will be. I mean, I'm right now I'm judging this about a maybe 6.5, 7 out of 10 of difficulty.
5 of these. So you have 5 of these, and they last for 2 turns. So it's not going to be on like all the time.
No, but being able to do 10 turns, I mean, that's basically your minute.
Yeah.
So, let's see, what else does it have? Okay, so legendary trait. Okay, we got a few more things. Oh, and it does have and it does have its own bonus actions and regular actions. So that ties into the abilities that it has. So, legendary trait, keep up. At the end of the round, Alloy rolls a d6. On a 5 or a 6, they gain an additional initiative count for the rest of combat. So they just move up an initiative, or they just get to go twice. They cannot have 2 turns in a row, reroll. Oh, okay. So yeah, at the end of the round, if they roll a 5 or a 6, they will get to go on a different. So they'll have 2 initiative points in the next round. If they roll a 5 or 6, they are now in initiative twice. They can't have 2 turns in a row.
Like that.
So they roll a second initiative. They can't have it in a row. So if they if they roll 5, if their first initiative is 5 and they roll a 6, they have to reroll. But they cannot have more than 3 initiative positions. So this can only happen up to a maximum of 3. I like that. That's a great cap. So they can only go up to 3 times in a turn, and they can't go back to back. On these extra turns,
giving speedster vibes. This is definitely giving speedster vibes.
I really like this. I like this flavor going into the initiative instead of doing just more attacks in their own turn. I love this idea. On their extra turns, Alloy chooses at the start 1 action or 2 bonus actions. Okay, and they're not full turns. So on your main turn, you get to do all your other stuff, but on these extra turns at the start, you have to choose if you're only going to do a single action or 2 bonus actions. That's cool. I like that.
Interesting.
And that means unless you allow like what we talked about, where you can convert your action into a movement, that does mean that they're not going to be able to move. That means that on those extra turns, they only get to do an action or bonus actions, not movement. I like that.
Let me ask you this then. Do you think that when this new turn starts, it would reset the number of reactions they get? Because traditionally, when it's your turn again...
No, I think they have the same number of reactions the entire turn, regardless of how many initiatives. Yeah.
So for the round, you get 3 reactions, and then you get to add either an action or a bonus action into...
one of these extra initiative points, but you in my opinion, and unless Foxer comes in and says otherwise, in my opinion, I think the entire round still has the same number of reactions, which would make sense, because if you got 3 actions in between each one of your 3 initiatives per round, I think that would be too insane. But I do think that it still goes.
I do agree.
But I think being able to have a reaction after each one of those is kind of the idea, right? You'll have 3 initiatives, but you'll also have 3 reactions.
This is something that I wanted to bring up to you, because I was thinking about this earlier today, and I actually think it's a really, really good idea. The round is the 6-second period, right? So
usually, yeah.
I think if the round is the second period, and the round, we have the top of the round and we have the bottom of the round, I think your reaction should be round based, not turn based. With that in mind, with exactly what we just talked about in mind. So that means you get your reaction back at the top of the round, not at the start of your turn. Traditionally,
I see what you mean, yeah.
You get your reaction back at the start of your turn. Instead of that, you get your reaction back at the top of the round. And I would also say you get your movement at the top of the round. So if you had a trait that allows you to use your movement as a reaction, you could get movement and your reaction from the top of the round, even if your turn hadn't started yet.
But there's a lot of exploit there, because you're resetting abilities way sooner. Because if you look at, like, you remember, because the time frame in which you're allowed to do things is between your movement and your next movement, right? So even though the round has reset, if I only, because again, the idea is in that 6 seconds, if I didn't act until the last 6 seconds, I still need 6 seconds to essentially refresh. Now, granted,
that's what I'm saying. So,
now, if you did a dynamic initiative like I do, that would make a little bit more sense, because granted, everyone says it's all simultaneous, but no one really treats it simultaneous. That's why I like dynamic initiative, because it really shows off that everything is happening all at once. So I see what you're saying, but I don't think 5th edition, I think it would cost too much in terms of being too OP. It would be too exploitable in 5th edition, but I do like the concept.
If the only thing that you reset is the speed and the reactions, I feel like it's doable, only because anything you could theoretically use after your turn as a reaction and or movement, you could theoretically use after your turn, just before your turn starts, all the way up until the moment before. So it's almost the same effect. It's just how it's presented, and I think it would lend to very interesting gameplay interactions that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. Is the only reason I bring it up, because usually a lot of the times you feel like, oh, I can't do something yet because, my turn hasn't started. But if you only have it for that same exact 6 seconds, and I can.
I mean, honestly, at that point, what I would just suggest to make it easier is, instead of resetting how reactions work, just add round-based legendary actions for players. Just add a mechanic where, don't call it a legendary action, right? But just say that each round, every character has this type of thing that they can do out of turn. That's not, that may be tied to something that you're like again, like a movement or whatever. I'm just
specifically with something that's triggered based, right? Because anything that's a reaction has to have a trigger to it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reaction that I know of that doesn't have something that's like, oh, once this happens, you can do it.
I don't know. I just don't know if the math really works out to have things reset at the top of the round. When again, I just don't know enough about 5th edition to know how well that would work out. I do like the idea, because that's how I treat, with the dynamic initiative. That's the idea, is everything resets each round, because you don't know where in initiative you're going to fall. So you know what I mean? You're not waiting for your full reset. Everybody's now just fully reset each time. So it makes more sense doing it that way. But I think if you're if you're in that static initiative, I don't really know how well, like, again, I don't know if it gives too much opportunity or if it opens up opportunity.
I'll say this. I can't think of anything that does. And I feel like there could be. I do feel like there could be a potential problem.
You should test that out with your kids. Like, sure. Actually test that out in your next gaming session.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of want to play with it a little bit, and and see if how well it works, how well it doesn't work, And granted, like, there's probably a scenario that someone could bring up or that could occur in some other game that doesn't occur in mine, but I'm still curious.
Yeah, let us know in chat and in the comments. Let us know. I'm really curious to see if anybody else would agree that having like reactions and movement reset at the top of the round would benefit their gameplay. So let us know on YouTube or if you're in chat right now. All right, so let's move on to the actual action. So these are the things that they can do. We have actions, bonus actions, and we have special actions coming up. So with their actions, they have Momentum Strike. This is a melee weapon attack, plus 13 to hit with a reach of 5. It's a 40-10 plus 8 thunder damage. They also have Velocity Rend, which is speed charged. Melee weapon attack, plus 13 to hit, reach of 10. It's a 60-12 plus 8 force damage. So this is when they use... Oh, okay. So Momentum Strike does thunder damage, but when they use their supercharge, the action becomes force damage. So that's what this is normally their action is Momentum Strike. When they are speed charged, it becomes Velocity Rend, which means it's the same attack. It gains a reach of 10 feet and goes from a 40-10 to a 60-12. And they both get a +8.
Okay, cool. There is a little bit of an error in the next one. I was looking at this and I was like, why does it say that? So Shockwave Top is actually supposed to say Momentum Strike. So there are 2 Momentum Strikes. One you can do with
the first one.
One you can do with your bonus action. Yeah.
Okay, I will say personally that's really confusing and it shouldn't be like that. So my advice, change the names.
Sure.
Personally,
I do agree with that. I was gonna say the same or something similar, but
I mean, why not just call one Speed Strike and then the other one called Momentum Strike? You know what I mean? Just small change would benefit it. All right, so I do like these. So I think a 40-10 plus 8 versus a 60-12 plus 8. I think that's a great jump for an attack.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that there's only basically one attack. Like there are 2, but their only difference is when you're supercharged. Right. So not I'm not saying that it needs more. It's just it's unusual to see only one, and there's no multi-attack.
Yeah.
So it's like I can either do momentum strike or I can do velocity run like twice, because remember you get two extra actions when you speed charge. So it's like I'd like another option. Especially I love the times when you get like multi-attack and you get like two regular attacks, or you can give up doing those for something bigger. That's what I feel like this is missing, is I can do momentum strike or velocity run when I'm supercharged, but like that's it. I only get those two. I don't get like some third option if I, don't do either. So either way.
Well, so standard, like regular standard, you get one action and two bonus actions. So theoretically, when you're not supercharged, you can do 3 momentum strikes. 1 action momentum strike and 2 bonus action momentum strikes.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about actions though. I'm just talking about like just using my action. I can either momentum strike or if I'm supercharged, I get velocity run. But not having another main thing to do with my action, especially when it comes down to like not having like a multi-attack.
It does feel weird, especially as a speedster. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even mind if like one of the actions, is that I can make like 3 attacks as long as like like 3 different targets are within like 10 feet of each other. And this, and I have movement or something, just something to add to the effect and give me more options. Because having a single attack does kind of like, even in combat, even for a DM, it just kind of feels bland to like only have the one.
Yeah.
But I digress, because we have bonus actions, which still means that we have multi-attack. So with this, we have the other momentum strike. This one is a +13 to hit melee. It is a reach of 5. This is a 2d8 + 8 bludgeoning damage. Now, if you supercharge this, it becomes an AoE attack. When stopping, after having moved at least 60 feet, all creatures within a 20-foot cone of Alloy's stopping point must make a DC 18 con save, or take 8d6 thunder damage and be pushed 10 feet away. On a success, you take half damage and are not pushed. So that sounds like thunder wave, right?
Yes.
Like the spell, like so it's very okay. So basically, you move 60 feet and stop suddenly, and then all creatures within that area take this thunder wave damage. That's kind of cool. It's a little wordy. Like I would change the wording up to read a little bit better, but otherwise, that's a really cool effect.
60. So here's the deal though. You would have to move twice in order to use this twice when you're speed charged, because you still have 2 bonus actions when you're speed charged, right? So if I wanted to make use of both of my bonus actions, unless there's something different you wanted to do with one of your bonus actions, I would have to use all my 120 feet of movement. And if I wanted to do it on the same person, theoretically, or the same area, theoretically, I would have to like zoom back and then zoom back again. 30 feet back, 30 feet forward, 30 feet back, 30 feet forward.
Right. But I mean, if you've done this and you've knocked everybody back, you could just close distance and make another action attack and a bonus action attack.
That's true. That is true.
After you've shockwaved everybody.
But again, can you, okay, so here's the question. Can I do a momentum strike while I am speed charged? A bonus action momentum strike.
I don't see why not. I think the idea is that you can only do shockwave when speed charged, but you always have your momentum strike, and you can only do velocity rend when you were speed charged, but otherwise you still have momentum strike.
But you always have your momentum strike. Okay.
Yeah, as far as I understand that.
Interesting.
This one, honestly, if you wanted the bonus action should just be called momentum jab. Like if you have momentum strike, you just have momentum jab as like a bonus action.
That's fair. I like that.
But yeah, so I like the idea of having these. So this basically becomes 40-10 and a 2d8, 2d8, if that's all you're doing with, right? So you come in with an action and 2 bonus actions. So it's 40-10, 2d8, 2d8. Or you have this overclock option, which burns both of your bonus actions. This is a special action, and then Alloy converts its raw speed into power, gains 1 additional action this turn. I mean, it's weird that you're costing bonus actions, and then you're saying it converts its speed into an additional action, but it doesn't require you to lose any movement.
Oh, interesting.
Like it doesn't say like if you haven't moved this round. It just says you turn your raw speed into power. You gain a whole extra action, but you didn't actually like burn anything other than your bonus actions, which are just these tiny, these little things. So I would.
So 2D or 6012? Ooh, yeah, okay. So I'll say that's valuable, and I'm thinking just mechanically speaking, because if I wanted to do two of my bonus action momentum jabs, right?
Yeah.
That's 48 total. But 48 is still less than a 6012.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Way
I'm
lower.
pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So being able to do that, I think that's a decent enough trade. If I wanted to do a shockwave stop, then I would just do the shockwave stop and one momentum jab instead
Yeah.
of two velocity runs. So like there's some play to have with your abilities here, and I can appreciate that. And so I would also say, and I don't know how you feel about this, I think that like you remember in the Matrix when Neo was bashing the Agent Smith against the wall, and you see all those like slow motion punches, but it looks like there's like 40 arms happening at once. Like that's kind of how I imagine Velocity Rend. Like imagine like it is one attack with one attack roll, but I imagine like rapid fire punches, almost like Ip Man. He's just like doing like a blitz of punches, and so um it definitely doesn't feel that way when you don't roll for each of them. We'll put it that way. Like,
yeah, I get you.
it feels different to cast Eldritch Blast than a leveled up Firebolt, right? Eldritch Blast, you got all of these beams, and even if they all go to the one target, I'm still rolling 4 or 5 attacks.
Yep.
The other one, you just roll a single attack. If it hits, great, and you do a lot of damage. So it depends on how you feel about the portrayal of this, but so far I think overall when it comes to like power and what we're outputting when it comes to damage per turn, I don't think it's too terrible.
No, honestly, it's kind of weak. Like, I mean, honestly, it's not that difficult, especially if it's going to be up against more than 3 people. Like, if there's more than 3 players, this really isn't going to be that devastating. It's going to be a fun, like, party combat, but I really, huh?
Even if it gets to the point where they just got 3 turns in combat.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's going to be like, especially with the like again, remember it's only going to have the ability to do not even a full turn. It's only going to have an ability to do 1 extra attack or 2 extra bonus attacks on those ones.
And you would say it doesn't get its movement back.
Correct. Because it specifically states that it has to choose 1 action or 2 bonus actions to do on those initial initiatives. Now, again, I wish Foxer was here to explain if they didn't use up all of their movement in the first initiative, do they still get it? But as far as I read, on these extra turns, they choose at the start 1 action or 2 bonus actions. So that I read that as this is what you get to do on those. But again, I don't know if that means that if they have movement left over, do they still get to use it? I don't know.
I would definitely read it that way because, like, again, kind of like I was mentioning earlier, if you have a reaction that allows you to use some of your movement speed, a lot of the times you need to have movement speed left in order to use that.
And that's where I'm just saying, like, there should just, I would just add the verbiage here to make sure that they say that you can also use your movement if you have any left over. Just because, again, clarifying that on these extra turns, I would just say, yeah, on these extra turns, ally chooses at the start to take 1 action or 2 bonus actions along with any leftover movement. Would be the only way you need to end that.
Sure. I personally think, again, to your point, in order to make this scarier, I think it should get its movement every single round.
It would make more sense. It wouldn't make.
It should feel like another turn.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for it not to be able to move. It's just that the verbiage just kind of makes it sound like I can move around and do stuff, but on these extra initiatives, I just get to like swipe at people that are near me. And if they're not, SOL.
Yeah, I to me, like, the creation of this makes it feel like you're getting multiple places in initiative, almost like you get to, like, you're so fast, you just get multiple turns. Like, you just get a whole nother turn, and like it's
Yeah.
a legendary trait. Like, so it's almost like you're ramping up speed, and like that's my initial thought process on that as to why I think um all of those are going to eventually culminate into, like, I almost thought you would get your reactions back too, but
Mm.
I do kind of agree with you that reactions should
I
be.
mean, we still haven't even seen what reactions do outside of AO or opportunity attacks. Like there hasn't been anything that gives us
Yeah.
like a specialty reaction. So outside of opportunity attacks,
In there.
um,
Uh-huh.
we also do have, so the overclock apparently is supposed to be a specialty action. So that was just not necessarily a bonus action.
This was a formatting issue. I forgot to remove this special action section.
Oh
I put
God.
those in
Gotcha.
the bonus action section, and this one I put in the reaction section.
Okay, so there is a reaction section. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So when you go down to the I was supposed to remove this whole special action section. I was just looking at that. I'm like, why is that still in there?
Okay, so we got 3 reactions that can be done. All right, so velocity parry. I love this already because I really do think that having like specialty action economy for defenses is kind of missing. Even though AC does cover a lot, I really would like to see more defensive opportunities. So when hit with a what's up?
No, I like that. Yeah.
And okay, so when hit, it says when hit with an attack, but not a melee attack. So that's interesting. It doesn't specify melee, it's just with any attack. Effect, okay. Alloy adds a +5 AC against non-magical attacks and a +2 AC against magical attacks. Okay, so
that's probably why.
just boosts its
ranged.
Interesting. So ranged and magical.
It's basically like casting shield. It's basically like casting shield and like ramping up your speed real quick to like dodge or parry or whatever. I think that's really cool. I would say.
Hey, I love that.
Hit by an attack, you can see.
See, I like it. My biggest thing, because I love that it's when hit with an attack. I mean, you could say if you wanted to make it more difficult, it's, when targeted or, when rolled against before if it hits or not, but whatever. I like that when it's when hit with an attack. For me, though, I think I personally, in High Point, would make both of these a roll. I'd make it a D6 and a D4 instead of a flat 5 and a flat 2. Now, in 5e, it makes more sense to have the flats, but I think for me, I would prefer these to be a roll. So you trigger it and you add a D6 against non-magical or a D4 against magical. And that kind of goes into the fact that you still have to react. You still have to, because again, a parry is still physically, like, think of like a sword's coming down on you, you still have to physically move it. And it just kind of would be nice to have like a variety, a range there. So I wouldn't mind a roll, but I see that 5 and 2 is probably good.
I will say, I do think there should be like a small line at the end of this that says potentially causing the attack to miss. Because without that, it sounds like you have to get hit in order for you to deactivate this. The way
well, you do. I mean, when the attack would hit, like when someone rolls against your AC and it says I'm going to hit you, then you go, well, I'm going to use this to up my AC. Then do you hit me? And if you don't, then it misses. That's the whole point. It's a parry. Yeah, that's how I assume that's what it meant. Because it's not. You could even say before damage is rolled.
When it potentially causing the attack to miss, because otherwise there's nothing else that indicates that the attack doesn't. The attack no longer hits. There's nothing that indicates this isn't happening after you get hit. So yes, you got hit, but you still took the damage and you still got hit because this is activating after that. Unless,
I mean, I would assume that knowing what a parry is, I think that's the idea, right? But yeah, I mean, you can either say before damage or when you would be hit by an attack, roll this to gain a new AC or to gain temporary. Yeah. There's ways that you could definitely reword this somehow to just make sure that it's not like getting damaged increases your AC. It's in the moment, it's against the same attack.
For sure. Yeah.
Because I guess there are abilities that you gain a higher AC after you've been hit.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So any kind of verbiage change there that just guarantees that you understand that this is directed at the attack that came at you. But I do think 5 and 2, especially for non-magical and magical, I think that's a good split.
Yeah, I think that's not too bad. More against something that's non-magical and a little bit less against magical, but that's not too bad at all.
And let's see. So after image counter. So the trigger this time is when a creature misses with an attack. Okay. Interesting. The first one you get, when you would be hit. This one is after you've been missed. You move adjacent. Wait, so when a creature misses with an attack, Alloy moves adjacent to it and makes a bonus action momentum strike against that creature if it has enough movement to reach it. Okay. So if you have enough movement, you can basically move directly to it and make a bonus action momentum strike. This is where it comes down to whether or not that would activate opportunity attack from other players.
Oh, like if somebody had like Sentinel or something like that, and they could potentially stop them from doing it.
Yeah, or just in general, like if you had, like, if I still had my reaction and I attacked this thing, right? So let's say it's my turn, I attack this thing and I miss, or no, I guess so it's my turn, I attack it, I miss, right? So now it's your turn. You're 20 feet away. You shoot it with an arrow and miss. It now moves to you using this counter attack, right? Because it still has movement. Do I get the attack of opportunity because now it's leaving even though it's not my turn, it's your turn, but again, it's leaving my area. So would I be able to use my reaction to do an attack of opportunity?
So, kind of to your point of naming structure. I love the name after image on this, and I would almost want this to be a little bit more powerful. Maybe charge it a little bit, like cost you, have it cost the player or the creature a little bit more in order to do it. But I like the idea of not only hitting the person that hit you, but like not moving from your spot, and it almost is like a blur of you just
like you went there and came back.
Comes right back. You went there and came back, but you're still in that space. You don't leave the space that you're in. You just get a chance to do a melee strike on somebody up to 120 feet away.
Then what I would do is I would suggest that this has 2 options. After counter is what I said, which is you can jump to that person, but you will have a opportunity attack. If you're supercharged, you go there, attack, and come back without opportunity attack.
Ooh, I like that.
Because why not? Like, why not give this the opportunity to where...
I like that a lot.
So if you're supercharged, great. No harm, no foul, and you don't move. You get all of your movement to do it. Up, like you said, up to 120 feet. That'd be devastating to an archer. Sure. But otherwise, if it's not during supercharge, you have to forego the opportunity attack if you really want to counter them.
Sure.
Because I do like your option. But I think that's where we need to bring back... Because you're supercharged for 2 rounds. Why shouldn't it affect your reactions? You know what I mean?
But you're supercharged. You ignore opportunity attacks anyways, right?
Oh yeah. So then it canonically it even explains more why you'd be able to go there and come back.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, added a secondary after charge or after image for when you're like you can just put one as speedy counter, which is you just run over there and slap them. And then the supercharge is after image, which means you technically teleport there, teleport back so fast. Boom. There you go.
That's clean.
Because I do think this thing is not weak. I just would like it to be a little beefier. It just, again, with more than 3 players, this thing does not seem to be a scare. I feel like 4 players and this thing's going to have a hard time. 5 or 6? No, sorry. No way that this thing's going to be scary against 6 players. Not at 15th level. Maybe 6 10th levels would be scared of this thing.
Yeah, I could see that possibly.
All right, so the last thing is take a breather. This one costs both 2 reactions and 80 feet of movement. So you still have to have 80 feet of movement. So it's at 2/3 of your movement. and 2 of your reactions. And Alloy recovers 5d10 plus 15 hit points. So it's a kind of like a meditative thing.
That's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. I like that a lot. Again, you could theoretically do that every turn. You would sacrifice a lot of movement every round, but
yeah, so they'd have to sit there and wail on you to get those hit points back up to 65. But still, that's not terribly a lot though. I don't mind this at all. It's interesting that it's a reaction, but we'll roll with it. We'll roll with the reaction there.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting that's a reaction, huh?
Because it costs both of your reactions and your movement. So it's like, it's not that you can't do anything, you can't, I guess you can't parry and you can't counter, so you are kind of going to be just sitting there kind of as a sitting duck. But you still get your bonus actions and regular actions.
This is the first reaction that doesn't react to something.
Yeah, it's you. You just get to just do it.
Like, that I have a hard time with. I have a hard time with reactions not reacting to something. Like, I think it would be cool if it did react to something, because when it reacts to something, it's outside of your control when you use it, right? It's a feature that you have, it's an ability that you have, but it's outside of your control when you use it, with the exception of you can just choose not to do the thing. Just
right.
Like attacks of opportunity. I could choose not to attack of opportunity if I want to, but I don't get to choose to attack of opportunity every round if I want to. No, I can't just do that whenever I feel like it.
So I would almost say that Take a Breather should, I feel like Take a Breather should cost either an action or a bonus action to utilize. And you cannot, an action or reaction, maybe half, this much movement, and just say that you cannot use your reactions till the start of your next turn. So it's like literally you have to enter this meditative state where you can't react without getting it back. So, because this would make it that moment where this is the time that everyone wants to react, right? You have to wait for the moment it heals, and then it's vulnerable. Because, like you said, costing reaction doesn't really work with how the mechanics work. But if it cost me an action or a bonus action to activate this, I could move out of the way, try to put some distance, activate this thing, and if the party was able to close distance, I can't do anything about it. I can't parry, I can't counter, because I'm focusing all of that effort on healing. But I have 120 feet of movement. There's nothing that says I couldn't break away and go 120 feet and then do this. Are they likely going to break 120 feet? Most of them probably can't attack me at range, and most of them can't probably get that distance in that time frame. So I wouldn't mind it if it cost me an action or a bonus action to activate and just says I cannot take reactions until the start of my next turn. You know what I mean?
Yes, I like that.
And if I'm already supercharged, it says it costs me 80 movement, but if I'm supercharged, I get double my movement. So I could supercharge, jump out of the way, and then activate this, and then heal myself and recoup.
Yeah. And theoretically, you get an additional action, too.
Yeah. Oh, and then even then, I'd get an additional action. Hey, look at that. We got the community stream challenge for next month. Way to go, Cosmic. Sealing the deal for everybody.
Thank you, Cosmic. Hooking it up.
All right, so I really like this idea. I just would want it to be done in a different way. I don't mind that it has a healing factor. It's one of those, I would like this to be a little bit more, not even punchy. It doesn't have to do a lot more damage. I feel like one more action attack, maybe one more bonus action, a little bit more variety, a little bit more tacticalness, because I do like how this plays. I love these reactions. I love the idea of it being vulnerable while it heals. I feel that we are relying so much, and of course we want to rely a lot on that speed, but I'm just feeling that with that speed isn't
underscore.
Hold up, I said hi to you. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. I said hi when you first jumped in. But it's just that, yes, we're relying on the speed, but we're only relying on the speed. And it's not really doing that much, especially because
Sure.
you know, where was it, the overcharged aspect? Yes, well, you know, that is also balanced with the extra initiatives. So I mean, getting up to 3 turns, you know, or 3 times to attack. So there is that to take into account. So maybe it's just that you have to build up to being that punchy, and I'm still concerned that without just like an extra opportunity, because we have no ranged attacks, right? We have to be able to close distance, so there's no actual ranged attack. But I do like that they split up the bonus action and single action on the extra turn. I think that's a great move. I do like that it's at the end. And what's really interesting too is that there's only a way for them to gain them. There's no way for them to lose them. And I don't know if I want that, because let's assume that this is going to happen. And if this happens it just by chance in the very first 2 rounds of combat, right?
Sure.
Then this tilts way in its favor really early on. So do you think that there's any justification or is there any necessity for balance to have this be able to lose any of those additional initiatives? Because these are for the rest of combat, right? These just happen.
I do see where you're going with that, and I agree.
Or should it just be they get 1 extra initiative on the next round? Like, should this be you roll it at the end of every round, but you only get it once, right? And so you have to keep earning the extra initiative. Because again, this is like 1-time roll and I get it for the rest of combat. Or should it just be if I'm rolling at the end of every combat, I should just be able to rack them up?
So
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out.
I almost like the idea. I almost like the idea that whenever you have an extra turn, so you can get up to 2 extra turns, right? And because your constitution is so high, and that makes a lot of sense for you, I think you should have a constitution saving throw at the top of every round whenever you have an extra turn in combat. And that constitution saving throw gets harder the more turns you have in combat. So when it's 1, say it's a DC 15, but if it's 2, now it's a DC 20, right? You got to DC 20 every round to hold it. And if you don't, it kind of gives you like the what do you call it effect?
Okay.
Haste effect. Like you get this lethargy. All of your extra turns in combat go down. You can't take reactions for a round, but then you start back up and you have the ability to earn them back up again, right? And to do that again. So it's not like it goes away forever, but it's also not like it lasts forever. You know what I'm saying? So you have a little bit of balance of like, yes, I still feel scary. I can still do this theoretically all the time, but there's a chance that it does go away. I'd say that.
So here's an alternative as well. If we wanted to keep the rolling to a minimum, what if they lost one of their initiatives, their extra initiatives, anytime they got hit? Because we talk about like momentum strike, right? This thing is all about speed. It's about momentum. It's about velocity. So the idea is as long as they're not getting hit, they could rack up the speed. They could rack up these extra turns. But if they get hit, they lose one. Now, it's not like every time. So it's not like they could lose both in the same round, right? But if they get hit this round, they lose one of their 2, right? Or they can have up to 3. So then if they don't get it back at the end of the round and they get hit next round, now they only have 1 initiative. So it's a reward for them not getting hit that they get to keep attacking. I think I'd like that a lot better.
I'm not mad at that.
And if that was the case,
I honestly could go either way on it.
If that was the case, if they could lose it based off of getting hit, and if it was every time they got hit, like even if they got hit 3 times in a round, I'd give them a number of extra initiatives. Well, no, you wouldn't want to give them equal to their proficiency bonus because that's 5. They'd be on every other initiative, and that'd be too much. So maybe 3 is the right one, but I still think they should be able to lose it. So I think if they get hit at least once in a round, losing 1 initiative isn't that big of a deal, because then you get a reason for them to keep rolling.
Sure.
But otherwise, I think this is a cool idea. I think this is a fascinating idea. I love the use of the bonus initiatives as representing speed. I think that's its greatest feature.
I like how they called it a legendary trait because it's kind of a twist on legendary actions.
Yeah.
Right? Legendary actions allow you to go in between other people. Now you get a whole turn in between other people.
I really like that. Yeah. So before I give it the score, I want to check out this energy container because this is what gives it its boost mode. So let's check that out real quick, and then we'll give it, because I have a feeling this is really, really strong. It's just one of those, there's a few tweaks that I have to make it make sense, but I really like it. I think this is a really, really strong concept, and a really just cool idea. I think playing around with speed this way is exactly what we need. So real quick, this energy container is a tiny magical device. It has its own armor class of 16 and hit points of 40, so it can be targeted. Fascinating. I hope that it actually shows off how to get it back if the character loses it, or I guess it's an encounter. So I guess in that particular case, because it's an encounter, it would just be gone. It would just be out of combat. So you could target it and remove their supercharged, their energy charge from the game.
Wild.
Interesting. It has 5 charges, as we know, and it has 40 hit points. All right, so it has damage immunity. It does not react to psychic or poison damage. Totally fine. Makes sense. All right, effects. Alloy can use a bonus action to draw energy from the container and become speed charged. If this container is reduced to 0 hit points, Alloy suffers the following effects. Oh, interesting. Okay, so
asked about action economy, and there it is, bonus action to use one of its charges.
Oh, it does that. Okay, thank you for reminding me that. Yes, we did want to know whether or not it took bonus action or not. So yes, it takes a bonus action to use this, and it has an extra bonus action each turn. So yes, this would be very easy for it to use, and that's probably why it has an extra bonus action. So not bad. All right, so if it were to be destroyed, Alloy will take 80 force damage, I'm assuming due to its exploding. Overcharged dices activates, that's below, until the end of the encounter. Enters speed charge mode until the end of the encounter. Oh, so that's interesting. So it can activate it up to 5 times, but if you destroy it, it just goes into speed charge mode indefinitely. So it's almost like it benefits it outside of the 80 force damage, and we don't know what the overcharge does just yet. That's fascinating, though, that entering speed charge till the end of the round or the encounter.
Yeah, that's wild.
But it also becomes dazed, which means its AC is reduced by 4, so it does hit harder, but it's reduced, but it's easier to hit. It deals 1 less damage die. That's interesting.
Oh.
Okay. Only gains 60 feet of extra speed instead of 120. Okay, so it's not doubling its speed. It's only getting the extra 60 for the rest of the encounter. And it loses 20 HP at the start of each of its turns. So that's interesting.
So it is a big downside, but you also, ooh, that's interesting. You were just talking about you don't always have to give to get, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can take stuff away by giving. And so like, this is very interesting.
This is great. This is a great combination of that. Yeah, exactly. It just explodes, damaging them, putting them into this like, and I feel like you could just talk. You could just look at this as like it explodes, but now they're in this uncontrolled supercharged state, right?
Yes.
I honestly, I know that this might be a little complicated, but I wouldn't even mind if there was a scaling factor of how much HP it lost and its ongoing damage if it depended upon how many charges were left in it.
Oh, interesting.
Like if you destroyed it early enough, would it have broken up? Would it do more damage if you destroyed it earlier in the fight or later in the fight? So
interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And then the overcharged dice. Okay, so Alloy takes 3 more dices of damage whenever it takes damage from enemies. So whatever you do, add 3 dice to your damage.
Oh, so this is how you kill this thing.
Yeah, and then the container can only be targeted after succeeding a DC 19 perception check. The DC for this check is reduced by 4 if Alloy has used at least 1 charge in front of the party. So basically, once you get on it, you can put it 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. You could be like, oh snap, what was that thing that just lit up when he used a charge?
That's actually really fucking dope, because we've talked about giving more of these interactable things that take some time for the players to catch on to. And while it might be obvious to the players, having something like this for their characters, that's actually going to improve my score. Like that right there is the nice cherry on top for this.
I'll even say, I'm fine with them having your 3 things the whole round now, because this is what'll counteract all that. Yeah, you can have those 3 turns the whole time, even though I do think those ideas that we came up with are really, really good.
Yeah.
But like with that in there, like I think that detriment like gives a lot of balance for a lot of the other elements that are there.
Agreed.
So yeah, that's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, and now that we know that, I think my only alternatives I'd still give it more base attacks and bonus attacks, but that would just be to fill it in to make it more versatile for the narrative. So I would give it like a different like this, momentum strike and then velocity rend are really nice, but I'd probably give it like another action that not necessarily does any more damage than these, but is just more appealing to use per situation instead of it just being this is the only way it's going to strike you. Same thing with like a bonus attack, what we talked about before. I would love a version of like flurry of blows where I attack with like 4 attacks, but they're only a d4 each or something. Just something like, again, something a little bit more, but not really
that goes exactly along with what I was talking about when it comes to the Eldritch Blast versus Firebolt. When you
yes, exactly.
Blast, it feels different. Be able to roll all 4 of those attacks, boom, 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 right? Because you can even change where they go and change what's happening to them. And I think that type of versatility for a character like this goes a long way.
There's also a narrative.
It's powerful, 4d10, but like
there's also a narrative and storytelling bonus though too, because it's like knowing that this thing could like, oh hey, I'm gonna roll to hit you with this 1 attack, and then you see me roll like 2d 4d10, you're like, oh, that's a big attack. But when I come out and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit you, and I roll 4 20s, and I go, I'm gonna swing at you 4 times. There's a big, you don't even know what the dice is yet, but it's more devastating to hear something's gonna swing at you 4 times than, oh, I hit you once, here's a big die to roll for damage, right? To me, there's more to it than just, again, we're relying on the speed, but we're not really doing a lot for it. So I would add those small little things to give me more of the feeling like I can play it like it's a super fast creature.
If you do that, you got to think there is now 4 times the chance that you're going to hit than there was before. Now, yes, you will do less damage, but there's still a higher chance that you'll do some damage.
Exactly.
Like strike. If you miss, you just miss. There's nothing. But like imagine if it was 1d10 plus 2. It's literally going to be the exact same damage. It's going to be the exact same damage. You just get 4 opportunities to do it.
Exactly. So and that's what I'm talking about, is like it just so much better. A recoil crash hits one enemy and then crits, it bounces off. So we've seen that before, like splash damage. Honestly, for something like this, because we're talking about the speedster, here's what I would do. If we wanted to add a crit option for something like this, I would say if you crit, you can attack that enemy again with like a bonus action, like with your shockwaves, or with your momentum jab, your bonus act. You just get a free momentum jab. Like instead of going from another enemy, it's like if you get a crit on this person, you get a free opening to just jab them again. Like again, flurry of blows style. You just go in with another.
Yeah, I like that.
So if you, I would say more like, if you crit on a momentum strike, you can add a momentum bonus action strike, or just anytime. You just get 1 extra little da-da. Because that's still 2d8. That's still another 2d8 plus 8.
Exactly.
So as a free action, is it just a free on top of your crit? You just get an extra 2d8? Fuck yeah. I'm totally down for that.
Would you allow that to explode if you got 3 crits in a row?
Fuck yeah. Again, for the speedster, for this particular build, I'd say any crit allows you to do a free momentum strike bonus action. And if that crits, again, you just stack them. It's only ever the bonus action momentum strike. So it's only ever that one attack. But I think you should be able to do it. I think that the idea of you being speedy just means like if you crit, and you do it multiple times, it's just you going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, you're just going in there and then just like hyper moding on them and just stabbing them a bunch of times. I think that would absolutely be fine. So honestly, yeah, I was, it was always going to get a good score. It wasn't going to get as good of a score until I really got to see the energy container, and got to see those detriments. Once those detriments came in, wow, this does feel a lot better. So I am still, it's not good. I don't want to say it's not good enough. It doesn't work for the lore that I would have. And again, I would have to change up, like I would have to add some attacks and maybe change up just some of the verbiage, but otherwise absolutely solid. I would love to fight this thing. I think this is perfect for 3 to 5 people. I think 6, and it needs some minions. And I think 1 or 2 people would get this shit. Just, I think anybody, if you were one-on-one with this thing, it would wipe the floor with you. Huh?
I want a mini speedster minion. I want like on a baby scale and like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Just imagine a bunch of tiny little speedsters just all over them. That could be crazy.
That would be interesting.
Dude, yep.
So yeah, so well built, well balanced. I think this thing is great. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's definitely gonna get the inspiration point. So 9 out of 10, very close. I would have to change a lot, but nothing I would change in terms of the foundation. I wouldn't change any of the guts of this. I would keep how it works. I would just slightly change some of the verbiage and add a couple extra attacks just to make it feel more rounded. But otherwise, no, this is solid. I like it. I really like it. I would suggest anybody, you know, check out the leaderboard when you have a chance in the Discord, and you know, go try this out, or you know, check it out and maybe try using this, because I think it has a lot of potential. This is how I want to see us tackle these things when we're talking about like a speedster, something going fast, changing, giving more initiative opportunities, and messing with like, again, the difficulty terrain, having extra movements. Those are the kind of things that I want to see utilized, instead of it just being able to, you know, just get 150 feet of movement, right? This played with all the aspects of speed except for attacks. So I would love to see it push that direction, but otherwise phenomenal. Boxer, sorry you weren't here live, but just amazing. Thank you so much for that submission. That was absolutely wonderful.
So, super quick question. I just thought about this. Say you have a homebrew review that for you is a 9 out of 10. It's great, but it doesn't necessarily inspire you. But then you have another homebrew review that is a 9 out of 10, and it does inspire you. Is that a 10 out of 10, or is that a 9 out of 10 with an asterisk?
So the thing is the inspiration point is more or less, if you can give me something that I can take away to high point, it's going to get an extra point, because it obviously added to high point in some way. Because that's the whole point of 10 out of 10, is I would add it to high point.
Absolutely.
So if you can add something to me, like to my game, that I have not thought about, or something that has not, like if you've just made me think about an application in a different way, it will get that extra point. The 10 out of 10 just simply means, will I take it in? So I can see something that is near usable, but if I already have something like it, just doesn't work that particular way, and I would want to use it, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go out of my way to be like, oh, that's how I want to do it. I would just use it as is. So so I can have something that I want, but not inspire me, because it's not like, oh, I hadn't thought about that before. It's just, oh, I like the way you did that.
Sure.
Like, you can give me an invisibility spell and go, wow, I've never thought about doing invisibility that way. That's inspirational, but I don't like your mechanics. Versus, that's cool. I've thought about doing invisibility a bunch of different ways, but I like the way that this spell works, and I like how you have the material component for it. So yeah, I'll let my players use it. Right? You're not inspiring me how to rethink magic. You're not inspiring me how to do something different. I just like the particular way you wrote that out and how you have it work. But it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to take a new approach to it in high point. So yeah, you can have 2 9 out of 10s with and without an inspiration point, simply because the inspiration is, will I still walk away with something? A 9 out of 10 that has no inspiration point means I'd almost use that, but without it, I'm walking away with nothing. It's a cool idea, but it's not quite enough. The inspiration point means, damn, I'm gonna have to go think about some shit.
Facts.
But fantastic question, because that's absolutely correct. Early on, we talked about maybe making like a chart that we could show people, but again, it's not really that. I mean, the chart is basically just how much do we have to balance it out? How much would I have to add or subtract? How much would I have to reword it? How much is it unique and different to what I already have? Have I already thought about it? Is it unique? Is it just a, reskin of something that we've already seen, reinventing the wheel? Is it a recreation of an IP that, isn't like, those are all reasons why we would give it a bad score. But at the end of the day, it's more about, does it read in such a way that without modification, could I and would I allow a player to use that? Or will I apply that to NPCs? You know what I mean? Like Double or Nothing, right? That 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
While that will probably come available to players, especially like if you wanted to have a character that had it, I'd probably let you use it. But for right now, that's just kind of floating off to help really high-powered Magic users do some really crazy shit, and especially helps explain some things that happened in the past. Because there's some crazy shit that happens with Magic where it's like, damn, if I say that someone was using Double or Nothing, that perfectly makes sense, right? That explains why that situation happened.
Yep.
So that's kind of where it's like that in those situations, it may or may not get into the player's hands, but it is something that with that idea, it is now influenced enough to where it is somehow in the greater storyline of High Point.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that a lot.
But that was cool. Again, Foxer, thank you. Sorry you weren't here. Let's see. Cosmic gave us an update on a D&D group thing. They were one person down, and someone left early. That sucks.
Are they recruiting?
Talked about something I made. Oh, okay. So there's something that Cosmic made that they have yet to submit yet, but they talked to their DM about it.
A submission from who was it? Was it Hecate? I think I got another submission from Hecate. So we get that to add. I also have the 2 Cosmic submissions.
Nice. So it looks like it might be a feat. I don't know. Cosmic's not real. Like Cosmic just said that they talked to their DM about something that we haven't reviewed yet, and then they just go on to say that since they're a fighter, they get an ASI or feat every second level, and they let it slip that the next session they're going to be at level 6. So I'm assuming that means that Cosmic has a feat in mind that they've gotten approval from their DM. That's how I'm reading that. That Cosmic got approval from their DM for a new type of feat.
One of the submissions that they gave us is a feat, and can I remember what that feat was called? Hold on. It was called Language Barrier. So very interested. No idea what that is, but yeah, we'll see. We shall see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What's next week?
Next week, we have a background from who's it from? Desmar. Background from Desmar. That's what we got.
Desmar, all right, fantastic. I don't think Des is here right now, but Des will know once we get that posted. Sweet. All right, so before we go, we don't even have the 2-hour mark, so we can chit chat about this. Okay, so community stream this weekend, Saturday.
Yes.
So I've been going over a lot about community streams, what we want to do, and there's been an idea we've been floating for a long time, and I think I have finally figured out how we can do it. I just don't know how I'm officially going to build it in, whether it's going to be a bot or a role. I think for right now we'll just do a role until we can figure out a way to do it via a bot. But I've been trying to figure out a way where both of us will be able to be comfortable doing some sort of gaming with chat, like the opportunity for us to get into a game, have people queue, and then join us for a match or 2, and then we can queue up live chat. They can hop in, we can do it. We may be able to do like voice chat via Discord or via the game, probably just in game, because it'll be easier than having to hop out of the game to deal with invites and whatnot. But of course, the biggest concern for us is not just there's multiple layers of it, right? There's the level of interaction,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
We are a live platform. We're not super popular, but you still just have to be mindful, of the content. You have to be mindful of who you're bringing on, and you just never know. You never know those situations. So you want to have things in place. You want to be safe. You also want to have, consequences. You want to have like actionable items, like, hey, if you fuck up, like, we're not going to have you around anymore. So I've been really just struggling, going back and forth with how I want to do that, how I'd be, comfortable with it. I know you and I have a little bit of a different approach when it comes to like how we interact, on Discord. Like I really don't bother with DMs. I just try to stay away from them. If you need, you can ping me in the Discord in the public space, but otherwise it's like I don't DM people. I try not to do all of that just because that gets, weird with some people. And we're not here to have, parasocial relationships as much as we, love the community and we want to build this and we want to have things, we have our lives. We're online personalities at best. You know what I mean? Like I just want, I just don't want to cross any lines, and I don't want to do things in any way that could be misconstrued beyond what we want them to be, right? Like I would love a gaming with chat. I like the idea. I've seen it work with some streamers. I've seen a lot of streamers who just stay away from it. And that's just kind of one of those things where I don't know how often I'd want to do it, and I don't know if I would even really enjoy the experience, just because I have a very particular way of gaming. And again, there's just a lot going on with that. But I feel like we've been asked plenty of times, and I feel like it would be a worthwhile adventure, at least for a community stream. Not necessarily for a regular Friday thing, but at least if we're going to do it once every couple months, a community stream might be the right time to try it.
I like that idea.
So my idea of how to actually get this to work is through the Discord. So we can vet people by having them join the Discord, because there's already levels of protection in there, built into just being able to join the Discord. And then what we do is, on top of that, I would make a new channel for essentially like a gaming with chat, like, like Q channel. And in there would essentially be a set of rules that they would have to read, approve, and accept. And we would essentially put people on a whitelist in the Discord, whether that be a role or a bot. Somehow I want to create, this is what I've kind of been working on and wanted to talk to you more about how we would implement it. But the idea is to create a more formalized way for anybody who wants to do this, right? You can't just like be in chat and just hop in the game, right? There'd have to be a formalized, go to the channel, you read the rules, you approve the rules, and there would be very clearly stated like what we will and won't allow, what the punishments would be, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure.
And from there, from the whitelist, when we go live, we could load into the game. Along with the whitelist that's just where the bot part might come in, is depending on what game we would do, is we would have people give us their, their gamer tags, but we'd have to figure out a way to do that. Like maybe in the, I'm assuming like a ticket system, like we'll probably put the bot ticket system in that chat. And so when they get on the whitelist, then they have access to a ticket where they could give us their gamer tag name. We could then, on the day of, we could have everybody added. And then what I can do via Twitch is there's a queue system in Twitch. So while we're live, we could say, hey, everybody queue up for the next one. Like, who wants to game next, queue up. And it'll just keep a queue list. So we do 1 or 2 games with somebody. We kick them out of the group and we go to the next queue in Twitch. We see that they're online in the game. We add them to the group. We play 2 games. And at that point, if anybody violates the rules, the things are, the game stops. They don't get to game for the rest of the day. Maybe that's just like their temporary ban. And if it's something so egregious, it could go as far as kicking them out of the Discord, like actually banning them outright.
Sure.
So it's like, as long as we have that, at least this way, it'll push people to the Discord. It will vet them. And we have a clear, obvious how we're going to handle things. So then that way it's unlikely. And if the worst case scenario happens where it just gets too chaotic, we can also just bump it up to a sub only thing, to where in the future, if this gets way too crazy or just doesn't work out, we can just do gaming with subscribers. And then that way, if people are willing to pay and join the Discord and do the whitelist, it's like, there's very unlikely people who are going to fuck around. So that's my biggest thing, is just trying. And then of course, also having it understood that yes, we will be adding you to our friends list to play, but for me, there will be clear guidelines that after the stream, friends lists will be removed. As in, again, staying away from the paranormal friendship, or not paranormal, but the that was the word I was looking for.
But you have to be friends with some people
parasocial
in order to invite them to certain games.
Well, yeah, you'd have to like invite them like via your friends list. Otherwise, you can't really like select them from anywhere. So, but it just, those are the kind of things that I've been thinking about, is like, if it's very clear that's like, hey, we'll add you, we'll play, but don't be, and again, more just like, don't be offended if after the game you see that we remove you from our friends list. The parasocial relationships, it's like, I don't want to be on a game just and then accident
ahead of time, like this is what the plan is.
Exactly. Yeah. And then this way I will feel more comfortable, because at least this way, again, it's that whole thing of like, I don't have to worry too much about, you know, accidentally inviting somebody to a game, or worrying about being invited, because, you know, like this could get big and I just don't want 20 friends that I don't technically know on my friends list if we're just gaming around.
And to be honest, especially if you and I are only doing this together, only one of us needs to add them, and I don't mind doing that.
Exactly.
If they add them to my friends list and I add them to the group. We all play together, and then
I mean, again, I don't mind adding them. It's the situation of, they have to understand, if you see me immediately remove you, it's just, don't take it against the stream. That's the whole purpose of it, is we want to game with you, but when it's not that time, sorry, but we're not friends, like, kind of thing. So but I think it's worth trying out.
Explain to me a little bit about the difference between the queue in Twitch and the queue in Discord.
So the queue in Discord is just the rules. It's like, you go to the channel, you read, you know, the posted rules. It's basically just our contract. And if you agree to them, we will whitelist you. So before stream, so like we're streaming and all of a sudden there's like, again, just there's 10 people in stream. And we're like, hey, we want a game with chat. And everyone's like, hey, I want a game. Well, if you're new here, you need to go over to Discord. You need to read the rules and get on the whitelist, right? And then when you're on the whitelist, those that are whitelisted can join the queue in Twitch. So the idea is that we might have 10 people in queue in Twitch, but if a name pops up and they're like, wait, you're not on the whitelist, you move.
Gotcha.
Because it's like, no, we need people who have joined the Discord, been here. You know what I mean? We don't just want randos. We want people who know the rules. So if you joined the Twitch stream and you want a game with us, and you went out of your way to join the join the Discord, read the rules, agree to the rules, and, you know, one of us, while we were paused, or, you know, Vixie, if she's around, whitelists you, then you can jump in. And maybe you don't. Maybe if you didn't get whitelisted before the stream, you know, again, if we do this more often, then it can just be ahead of time. But again, the whitelist is just a way for them to say, here's the rules, here's the expectations, here's what's going to happen before, during, and after. And if you agree, then you can join the Twitch queue. But you have to have both. You have to be in the Twitch queue and you have to be whitelisted, meaning you also have to be in the Discord, meaning you've been vetted. It's just a way to help us have that one extra layer of, if you do something fucked up and we ban you, you can't complain. Like, you were on the whitelist, therefore you read the rules, therefore it's not our fault. And that's my only thing, is I just want to make sure that all bases are covered, no one gets a hissy fit, but we also...
I've got an idea for that. And it might be a simplistic idea, but so once you go through the Discord, you go see the channel, you go read all the rules. Once you do all that and you submit yourself on the wait list, or basically say that you read the rules and everything. The only reason, like, we'll just keep a running list of that, because that'll be good for like future stuff, right? So if we do this today, but then we want to do it another time, are we gonna want to like purge that list and get a brand new?
No, that's why it's a whitelist. That's the whole point, is the whitelist will always be there. So, you know, if you come in like on a day like today, like let's say we had the whitelist active. Yeah. If you came in on Twitch and joined the Discord today and you're like, oh, you guys are gonna do gaming this weekend, cool, let me go join the whitelist now.
Yeah.
The whitelist is just the agreement. It's fill out anytime. And if you've ever been moved, and then we'll have a blacklist. So if anyone ever like just fucks around, or let's say we game with somebody and they're fine for like, you know, D&D talk, but they're just not conducive to a gaming experience, but they didn't break it. Like, they're not, you know, cursing, they're not doing anything crazy, but like we game with them and all they want to do is meme around, we'll blacklist them. They're still they're not going to be banned, they're not going to be kicked, but sorry, you don't get to game with us. You don't get to join the queue because you're on the blacklist, because you can't make it entertaining. You're trying to meme too much.
That we're trying to do.
Because like I said, there's a difference between like you getting on here and start doing slurs and start like like doxing us, or you really start come in here and start doing some fucked up shit, you're banned. But if you just come in and like, let's say, we're playing Fortnite, but all you want to do is meme, all you want to do is like dance while you're getting shot, it's like we're gonna blacklist you because that's not fun for us. We're not doing that. So that's the difference, right? There's a blacklist, the whitelist is different than being banned. It's just, I want the whitelist to ban people and to blacklist them, and they know why. Like, there's going to be a clear cut. Here's what we expect of you. Here's the idea, and
okay,
yeah.
So,
Hoylepa says, "Take me off the whitelist."
Wild.
Damn, Hoylepa just doesn't want to play games with us. I see how it is.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, I thought because of how they spelled the waitlist. That's funny. So okay, here's my idea, and I think this could work out super well. So I don't know exactly what Twitch, like what it looks like in Twitch when you have like somebody queue up.
It's just it's basically just a way to keep them in a list while they're live on the stream. So like, let's say we have 5 people join the queue on Twitch, right? It'll keep a list, and I can just have it say, hey, that person's been pushed through. But if that person leaves, the queue will automatically update. So that way we just know, oh, it's just going to automatically pass to the next person.
In order list. It's a first come, first serve.
It's a queue. It's just a live queue of who wants to join.
It just has their Twitch tag.
Yeah, it would just show me like Hecate's here. But on the whitelist, that's where we get their gamer tags for the specific games. So we'd be able to immediately add them. And again, the point of the rules would be like, hey, if you want a game, you want to be on the queue, you have to be in your game, you have to have it loaded, like you have to be ready to join kind of stuff. So there'll be a process.
Here's what I think we could do. If I were to set up a one of our what are they called, the webhooks in Discord in our channel for this, right? And I would have a link for them to fill out a form. It would give us their Twitch gamer tag. It would give us whatever gamer tag they're using for the game that they want to play, and we could have like a list for them to choose. Be like, hey, what games do you want to play? Do you want to play Fortnite with us?
We'll just have like a list of like, put whatever username for the game you want that you would join with. Yeah,
different across them.
Because we'll have like a Marvel's game, we'll probably have Fortnite, we'll have all of those. So yeah, we'll just have like a list where they could just put in their gamer information. We'll even have an example, so we'll have to like log in, make sure we know.
Whenever they submit it, now we will have a list tied to their Twitch tag, so that whenever it's time for them to pop up on our list, we directly have everything associated with
and we just add them. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking, is that's why I wanted to add it into Discord, because like being able to integrate that into like a role into a channel to where we can get all of that information, have it easily accessible, and then just pop them in would be so nice, so easy. I really wish there was a Twitch like you can make your own like, we can get VIP in Twitch. I wish we could make our own.
Sure.
Like make your own category, so that way when they get on the whitelist, like we could make a whitelist in Twitch. So where like you could make it to where only people on the whitelist can queue. Because like we could do things like sub only chat, VIP only chat. But it would be great to have like a category that links to Discord, so we could automatically be like, only people on the Discord whitelist can, like, that would be cool, but that would take some level of integration that we don't have.
Sure. Yeah.
But I like that idea. If we could do some sort of document that just quickly gives us all of their usernames, that would be so perfect. And like, what would that go into, like a Google Doc?
Yeah, it'd be one of the sheets, Google Sheets, like just like the leaderboard is on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could set it up to display to one of those. I could set up the columns however we need to, so that it's easily VLOOKUPable, and then we can just basically insert their tag in the box, and it'll give us all their information.
Dope.
And then it'll be like, all right, boom, this is their gamer tag for the game they want to play for us today. Boom, let's add them.
And you know what we could do then is, I wonder, I don't know how easy it would be to automate, but we add them to the whitelist after we've gotten their submission. So that's part of it, is you go to the channel, you read the rules, you submit, aka agree, and like by submitting your usernames, you agree to the rules. And then once you've gotten that document and confirmed, okay, I have their usernames, then you put them on the whitelist. You know what I mean? Just so we know, okay, you've given us. Because if we just automatically gave them the role because they like reacted to it, but they never got us their usernames, then it would cause like a delay on stream day.
We'll just say this. Once they submit that, once they fill out this form, it'll automatically be in there. Like, I don't...
No, I know, but I'm talking about like being able to give them a role in Discord.
Oh, got you. Yeah.
Right. So I could just like, you could just easily say like, oh, because the thing is like, we want to be able to easily figure out if someone's on the whitelist or blacklist. Like during the day, like if someone pops up in queue, we need to be able to see whether or not they're on the white or blacklist. Now, unless you want to add that to the document where we can just blacklist them via the document.
That's what I was saying. I was just gonna say we could just do it straight through the document, because I feel like that would be a lot quicker if I just added a tab for that, and then we would put it wherever we needed to. And then
it just like blacks out their name. Like you type in their name and it just says denied.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Honestly, from Twitch or from Twitch, just copy their username, paste it into a box in Sheets, and then it'll tell you.
Let's do that. I really like that. We'll just have to come up. So this week we'll come up with the rules. I'll make the channel. I'll write up the rules so you can put that into a webhook. And then we'll just have to come up with a list of games that we'll be willing to play with everybody and everybody. So if we can get that done maybe by like Wednesday or Thursday, give everyone Friday before Saturday to sign up.
With it as much as I can tomorrow.
That's a dope ass idea.
Actually, yeah, we could totally do that. I could totally do that.
Maybe eventually when I get the website done, we can put it on the website too. Like through the website, like to host the actual page.
Absolutely.
Dude, that's such a good idea. I really like that idea for doing the whitelist, because I wasn't quite sure like how we were supposed to collect the gamer names without displaying them in Discord, because I didn't want everyone to have to just like publicly give their gamer names to everyone in the Discord.
Exactly.
But being able to give it to us privately via a webhook, that sounds perfect. Okay, so if we can get that done, we can do some gaming with chat finally. And I think a couple of things that we'll have to think about is, because I mean, technically, we are like, I don't think we have any official like rules against it, but I know that we are more geared towards like adult content just because, of like language and whatnot. So, we probably will have to put in like within the rules, like just for our safety, as part of the agreement, something along the lines of having to be 18 or over, just so again there's that very fine line division between any kind of parasocial relationships and any kind of topics that come up. I mean, I'm not saying that we get weird when we game. I mean, people have seen us game plenty of times, but just you don't need something clipped in the wrong company. You know what I'm saying? Like the wrong clip in the wrong company is just not something that, again, same exact reason why I don't do DMs, because you snippet the wrong thing in the wrong context, and it's just, it's all bad.
They want to, especially nowadays. Yeah.
So for the next couple of days, think about any other rules that you think will just help protect everybody, just help be, balanced on all sides. Be fair. Like, I'm not trying to not have people play. I just, again, I want to cover all bases so everyone has the expectation correct. And
we gotta protect ourselves first, truly.
Yeah, protect the brand, protect ourselves, protect the audience, but also just have a good time. Like I want that to be successful. I want it to have a good time, but if you don't think about how to handle it, it can go wrong, very quickly. And we're 3 years in. I don't want this to get fucked up just because of a bad gaming session.
Stupid stuff. The stuff that doesn't need to be.
Exactly. But I am excited about that though, because we have what? We have Marvels, we have Fortnite, we have finals.
Yep.
I guess technically I could do some Rocket League with people if they wanted to do like a Rocket League match. What else do we got? What else can we do? So, I mean, I have Sniper Elite 5 now.
Sniper Elite 5, I don't know what that is.
It's not a lot. I mean, really, Sniper Elite, Rocket League, Rust, Finals, Phasmophobia, Sea of Thieves, like those are all crossplay that we could get eventually. I mean, we're probably not going to get to that many games this one time, but if we do this more often, if like this is going to be something that we want to rotate in on Fridays or just, you know, every month during community stream, we'll need a couple more games.
Yeah. That could be a really good time.
I'm excited. I like this. Okay, so that is going to be this weekend's community stream. On Saturday, we are going to try and have everything set up for Gaming with Chat, our very first one. It only took us 3 years, you know, and a whole fuck ton of begging from the community.
Gaming with Chat.
I honestly forgot how many times we've been asked to like open up gaming whenever we do stuff.
Right.
I know Soul asks almost every time.
Through that. We want to play Soul. We do.
We're scared. Just scared.
Skirt.
All right, Hoilepa, you don't have to play. You can just watch. All right, so
you will like it.
I didn't get to stream last Friday. I was gonna do a cooking stream, and then I just got too busy with everything else. So we'll have to come up with something this Friday, and then this Saturday we'll be doing the community stream. Probably starting at about normal time, so between 11 and 12. So 11 a.m., 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will be the normal for Saturday. I don't know. I mean, like Friday, it's like I wouldn't mind playing games, but if we're gonna do Gaming with Chat, you know, Saturday,
Well, yeah.
then why would we play games on Friday?
Very fair.
Speaking of games, I'm kind of excited because I think I finally solved that that glitching issue that I was having with my games where my FPS would just like freeze.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I solved that, so I should not have that anymore with Fortnite.
Fire. Oh, and just as an FYI, we're talking about what to do on Friday. I am going to be house sitting this upcoming week, starting basically tonight, tomorrow. So Friday, because I'll be a lot closer to your neck of the woods, if it needs to be an in-person thing, that's a lot easier for me if we want to do that.
Dope. Okay. All right, we'll have to think about something to do on Friday then. If we want to do it in-house or do another like IRL thing, like if, you know, we haven't done that in a minute. So if you're gonna be local, maybe we can head out somewhere. It's getting lighter, you know. The later it is, so we should be able to utilize that light. All right, cool. Well, we'll think about that as we develop everything. We will try to get the whitelist and everything done before the weekend, so everyone can sign up for some game time with us. And yeah, we'll figure out what's going on Friday. But other than that, yeah, another successful stream. Thanks everybody for showing up. Really do appreciate it. Foxer,
Absolutely.
Thank you for the submission. Fantastic idea on how to use speed.
Very cool.
As a very dangerous and scary mechanic.
Nope.
Well, thank you for stopping by. Soul, thank you. Cosmic, thank you. But yeah, we'll be here this weekend. We'll be here back on Friday, and then this weekend with the community stream. So yeah, join us for that. But hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Hope you guys have a great week ahead of you. We'll be back in a couple days. But have a good rest of your night. Cheers.
Deuces, my friends.